Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This week I played Entitled Tuesday and in round number 5 I was up against none other than Hikaru Nakamura, and I really want to show you all what happened in this game. So I had the white pieces and I opened up with the move 1d4 and Hikaru responded with the move knight f6 c4, and here Hikaru comes up with a little bit of a surprise. He plays the move pawn to b6. Now what Hikaru very often tries to do in the opening is play something that's a little bit more offbeat, take a little bit of risk, but tries to imbalance the position. Now here I go knight of c3, and he plays the move bishop to b7. This opening is a bit of an accelerated Queen's Indian, because usually black plays e6 first, and waits for knight of 3. So here the move I play with white is the move queen to c2, and with this move I want to prepare the move pawn to e4, putting a pawn in the middle. So black has a decision to make here, and Hikaru here plays the move pawn to d5. He's stopping me from putting another pawn in the middle. Alright, so here I take, he recaptures with the knight, and now I go e4 anyway, hitting the knight on d5. Alright, so Hikaru takes, I recapture, and as we see here, white's got a nice pawn center, but again, Hikaru's got the imbalance that he wants. He continues his development with the move e6, and here I continue my development as well with the move knight to f3. Hikaru plays knight at d7, further developing, and I play the move bishop to d3, bring another piece into the game. Hikaru plays bishop to e7, and it's somewhat interesting. I think the week before, or maybe 2 weeks before, Hikaru actually played the exact same opening against me. He won that game with the black pieces, but I had lucked up the opening a little bit, and I came up with a bit of an improvement. Alright, so here I castled, Hikaru castled as well, and so here I play the move bishop to f4, developing my bishop to a very active square. And Hikaru plays the move queen to c8, and with this move Hikaru often wants to play the move c5, challenging my center. And in case I play the move d5, there might be the move c4 from black, hitting this bishop on d3. Like I said, I looked up this line a little bit, and I found out that the move c4 is a nice move here for white, improving white's space in the center. And now it's going to be very difficult for black to ever challenge my center. For example, in case black plays the move c5, I can just play the move d5. And again, my pawns nicely neutralize black's pieces. So Hikaru plays the move rook to d8, bring his rook into the game. And I decide to do the same thing with the move rook a to d1. And again, the nice thing here for white is that, again, I've got a lot of space here. And so it's a lot easier for me to move my pieces around. Hikaru plays the move knight to f8. Alright, just play the move h3, creating some luft for my king potentially, and also taking away this g4 square. Hikaru goes knight to g6, attacking my bishop, and I decide to step the bishop back to the g3 square, keeping an eye on the pawn on c7. And here Hikaru comes up with a very provocative move. He plays the move bishop to d6, offering the trade of bishops. Now what Hikaru wants here is to take on g3. Let's say I play a move like, I don't know, e4. He wants to take on g3 and double my pawns. His pawn can be a little bit of a weakness. And also, he's quite happy in case I take on d6 myself, because here is going to recapture with the c-pawn, and a pawn on c4 can become a little bit tender on this half-open c-line. But the principal approach here for white is the move e5, grabbing more space in the center and hitting the bishop. Now here, Hikaru really should have just moved his bishop back. Let's say bishop to e7, and white's better here due to my big central control, but the position remains somewhat manageable for black. But Hikaru here decides to increase the risk and take on f3. Again, he's going for another imbalance, but by doing so, he also gives up his bishop pair. Alright, so I take. Of course, this is what he wanted, because now my pawns are doubled and my king is a little bit exposed, but it's going to be very difficult for him to ever take advantage of that. One quick note, by the way, I should not take the bishop on d6, as then black takes on d1, and black is just winning. Alright, so we take an f3, and black played the move bishop to e7. Now here I played the move bishop e4, taking advantage of all of the weakened light squares on black's queen side, hitting the rook. And Hikaru plays the move c6, making it difficult for me to ever break in the center with the move d5. Now, this is a very instructive moment in the game. I've got the bishop pair here, I've got a lot of pawns in the center, but it's not easy to make use of them. If I go to move d5 here, black can just take twice, and or trade the queens first, and take the pawn just to show, let's say, takes, take on c2, and take on d5, and black's doing absolutely fine as he's up a pawn. So again, I want to set my pawns in motion somehow. So I play the move f4, because now I want to break with the move f5, hitting the knight and breaking open the center to try to set those pawns in middle in motion. Hikaru does not want to allow me to play the move f5, and so he plays the move f5 himself. But he forgot about a little rule here. Here, I played the move en croissant, and he fell out of his chair. So, what? What? He did not see the move coming. No, of course he did. Anyway, he recaptured the bishop. And now you might be thinking, okay, well, why did white do that? Because in this position right here, my pawns are kind of nicely connected. And here, they're a little bit more split. But again, since I have the bishop pair, I want to open up the position. Because that's when the bishops really come to life. So go f5, hitting the knight and this pawn over here. And I think here he makes a big mistake. I think he should have just moved the knight back to f8. And now, in case I take, he can always recapture with the queen. The pawn on h7 is protected. And white's better here, but black's very much still in the game. But Hikaru decides to take the pawn on f5. I recapture, hit his queen on c8, and he plays the move queen to b7. Now again, what do we want to do when we have the bishop pair? We want to open up the position, and that's why I played the move pawn to d5, a move I was very happy with. And here black's in a very tough spot. In case black takes on d5, here for example I can give a check, and then take on d5, hitting the queen, winning this rook in the corner, or this rook over here. White's up the exchange, and white should just be winning. There's a lot of open lines, and rooks are especially better than minor pieces when there are a lot of open lines on the board that they can utilize. So Hikaru tried to keep the position closed with the move c5, but now I just play the move d6. Again, I want to play the move bishop b4, hitting the queen and the rook in the corner, and also set this d pawn in motion. Again, on multiple occasions, I could have taken the knight on g6, but I feel like that's really letting black off the hook. White's still better there, but it's selling my advantage a little bit too cheaply. So d6, a move I was quite happy with. And he plays the move rook to b8, stepping out of this diagonal, but he's stepping right into this diagonal. So now I play the move d7, hitting the rook on b8, and what is he going to do? If he goes rook a8, again, I go bishop b4, winning the rook, and black is just completely lost here. So Hikaru played the move knight e5, blocking the attack on the rook, but by doing so, he's hanging this pawn on h7 with a check. Alright, so probably he should have played the move king h8 here, but it looks quite risky. But what Hikaru did actually only made things worse. He played the move king to f7, but with this move, he's just stepping out in the open. Here, I took off the knight, he recaptured, and it's clear that something bad is going to happen to this black king. Now, I gave a check on g6, he stepped the king back, and queen to e6. Perhaps this was not even the best way to continue. For example, in this position, I could have also given a check on f5 right away, and after bishop f6, a move like rook fe1, setting up queen e6, and again, black's just completely busted. For example, in case you go here, give a check on g6, followed by queen h5, and it's clear that black is going to get checkmated here. But what I did is also completely winning. So I played queen g6 check, he dropped the king back, and now queen to e6. Again, I'm hitting the bishop, queen g8 is often an idea, bishop g6 is a good move, rook fe1. Again, the king is not going to escape the attack here. Hikaru played queen f3, trying to go for some counterattack, but now I just take the bishop, he takes an h3, hitting my bishop and perhaps hoping for some checks, but now I just played the move queen to f4 check, and Hikaru resign. If you step the king up, there's rook fe1, and black's just simply getting checkmated in the middle of the board. So this was a game I was very happy with. I hope all of you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys in the next video.